We're almost halfway through the year, and a lot of people are running on empty without fully realizing it. Grow Therapy helps you find care that's covered by insurance before burnout becomes the baseline. Whether it's your first time in therapy or your 50th, Grow makes it easier to find a therapist who fits you, not the other way around. They connect you with thousands of independent licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. And if something comes up, you can cancel up to 24 hours in advance at no cost. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. Whatever challenges you're facing, Grow Therapy is here to help. Grow accepts over 100 insurance plans, including Medicaid in some states. Sessions average about $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
Hey guys, welcome to You the Boss podcast, episode 86. And today we're going to be talking about something that every single person experiences, but not everyone learns how to move through, and that's fear. Not the dramatic life or death kind of fear. I'm talking about the quiet kind. The kind that shows up when you're about to try something new, you're about to put yourself out there, you're about to speak up, you have to start over, or just become someone that you've never been before. That kind of fear is the kind of fear that most people, that even the people that you trust, don't tell you about, is that fear doesn't stop. It usually means that you're getting closer to the life that you want. It means that you are navigating something new, and you're just learning something new. And today we're not really going to talk about eliminating this fear. Today we're going to learn how to move through it. We're going to move with it, and we're going to move past it. So out the gate, I want to let you know that fear means that you're growing. Let's start there. I think that's going to shift everything for you. I think that's going to align for you how this looks. Fear isn't necessarily that something has gone wrong. I have spoken a little bit about on this podcast how sometimes our brains perceive fear to be, we're not sure if it's excitement or if it's fear or if it's anxiety. And it's because that part of our brain, which I believe is called the amygdala, that's been part of our caveman brain, right? Just to give you guys the without too much science terminology, but basically when we were cave people, we needed to protect ourselves, we needed to protect our young, and we needed to protect our villages. And so that part of our brain doesn't always recognize things like excitement and the fear of starting something new. It doesn't always recognize it as, oh, I'm not afraid to move forward. It recognizes as either fight or flight. So it's not a sign that something is wrong. Fear is often a sign that you're growing, that you're stretching, that you're stepping into a new version of yourself. But your brain, it's wired to keep you safe. It's wired to just keep you in the same mundane things, not necessarily for you to stay successful. So the moment that you step outside of what's familiar, your brain says, oh no, this is new. This is uncomfortable. Let's go back. Let's revert back. Let's rewind. Let's just stay where we are. And even in doing that, when your brain is trying to keep you safe, it associates with going back as keeping you stuck. And that's why fear shows up, when you're wanting to start the business, when you want to post the video and tag the brands, when you're setting up boundaries, when you're walking away from a relationship or from a friendship, or when you want to go after something bigger. It's because it's unfamiliar, not because it's not wrong, not because it's not meant for you. It's because it's unfamiliar. So I want you to say that again in your head. I want you to know that unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. And let's repeat that one more time. Unfamiliar does not mean unsafe. So, tying this in a little bit, courage isn't confidence. Everyone assumes that when you do something, it's because you're not afraid, you're fearless. And actually, that's just not true. A lot of people get stuck in that. They think that if I don't brave this out, then that means that I lack confidence. And they think that they're going to take action when they are confident. And that's just not the case. That's just not how these things align. Confidence is built after you take the action. It's actually the other way around. It's not before. Courage is not a personality trait. It's not something that you're born with. It's not something that, you get up as a 2-year-old and you're like, "Yep, I'm confident. I'm courageous. This is who I am. These are the things." This is a skill. It's a skill that you sharpen. I want you to think about courage as a knife. And I want you to think of the action of it being the sharpener. And that's how you sharpen that courage and that confidence, is by running it through, the action of it. And you build it the same way that you build anything else. You repeat. Every time that you do something that you're uncomfortable with, when you speak up, when your voice, even when your voice shakes a little bit, when you feel unsure but you still show up, you're casting a vote for a braver version of yourself. And over time, that version becomes just who you are. It becomes the person that you see in the mirror, as opposed to someone that you see outside of yourself. I'm going to give you some tools today based around this, on how to take action even while you're still afraid. I always like to treat these I always like to treat these tools to you as some practical forms of things, but also letting you know that this is where the change happens. This is where you can create this for yourself. So, number one, the one brave move rule. Instead of overwhelming yourself with everything that you should do, ask yourself, what's one small brave thing I can do today? It's not perfect, it's not huge, it's just intentional. Small action builds momentum, it reduces overwhelm, it proves that you can do hard things. You can do hard things. This is not new to you. We've talked about this before. It puts you in a position to say, you know what? I just started one little step. Today was just the day that I picked up and I started to move, and it's going to create that snowball for you. Number 2, fear versus fact check. Fear tells stories. That's what fear loves to do. So when you're in that moment being faced of, what am I afraid of? You write them down. Write the things that maybe you're afraid of happening, or what's the evidence that you actually have on that. Most of the time, you'll realize that you're reacting to a possibility, not a reality. You're making a choice, or you're being anxious about something that just hasn't happened yet. And that awareness alone creates a space for you to move forward. It creates a space for you to fact check yourself when you're feeling this fear, you're feeling this anxiety. Number 3, the 5-second rule. This one comes from Mel Robbins. However, you may feel left or right about Mel Robbins. The 5-second rule. It's when you feel fear or hesitation, count down. Count down backwards from 5 and then go. Because the longer you wait, the more that your brain will talk you out of it. Action has a small window. Take it before fear closes it. I can use the example of laundry for this. You finally got to the load of laundry that you did 3 weeks ago, and you're like, why did it take me so long? And whatever the actual facts are around that and why it takes so long to do that, I know that we all have it. So I know you're probably smiling about this, like, oh yeah, I do have a load of laundry that I gotta take care of. You know, the reason that it takes so long is because we don't just immediately take the action. I have a friend of mine whom, in the basis of laundry, I know that she pulls things out of the dryer and folds them and then puts them in the basket and brings them, to where they go. And that's just how she does her laundry, and that's how it works for her. And I think that it would align better, when we do that, when we take that 5-second rule and we just count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Number 4, identity anchoring. So what that means is you asking yourself, who am I becoming? When you feel that fear, when you feel the different, resistance to yourself about different things that you want to start and do, ask yourself, who am I becoming? What would that version of me do right now? Not the scared version, not the comfortable version, the next level version, that level up version of yourself. And then act like that person, even if it feels unnatural at first. And it will feel unnatural at first. So you already know that it's going to feel unnatural. So no reason to feel like, what if this feels unnatural? Because you already know that it is. Number 5, I want you to normalize discomfort. I am here to bring it up. I'm here to make it a point to continue to say it. Social media has normalized making everything look soft, making everything look easy. You're so used to seeing someone else's highlight reel that you forget it's uncomfortable to get up at 6 a.m. and work out for 45 minutes and then go about your day. You forget that, you know what? It is hard. It is hard to run a household, work a 9 to 5, build a business, build a podcast, still be social, still take care of the day-to-day things and take care of yourself. Don't get wrapped up in that. Normalize the discomfort. Get familiar with doing the small, uncomfortable things on purpose. Be the person that says hi first. Try something new. Speak your opinion, not as fact. That's a later topic. Do things imperfectly, because when you practice discomfort in small ways, the big moments stop feeling so overwhelming. They just become what they are. Fear isn't a stop sign. That's what I want you to take away from this episode today. Fear is not a stop sign. Let's start to reframe fear completely. Fear doesn't mean that you're not ready, that you're not capable, or that you shouldn't do it. Fear means that you care. You're stepping into something meaningful. You're expanding. So instead of asking, why am I so scared? Why is this scaring me? Ask yourself, what does this fear say about what I actually want? Because usually fear is pointing directly at it. You don't need to feel ready. This is the part that I really want you to hear. I'm here to tell you that everything that you need to achieve what you want to achieve, you already have. You don't need more time. You're definitely not getting any more of that. You don't need more confidence. You don't need more validation. You don't need more followers. You don't need anything else. You don't need to feel fearless. You just need to be willing to say, I'm scared and I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anxious. I can do hard things. That's it. That's the shift. I can sum up this entire episode just right there. I'm scared and I'm going to do it anyway. That's it. If you're looking for a book, you guys know that I love to suggest books here and there. I think You Are a Badass by Jen Cicero is really good. It's a confidence boost with practical mindset shifts. It's not a lot of fluff. It's just kind of, you're a badass and you are. Another one is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. It's pretty short, it's real, and it's just kind of perfect for understanding that resistance. In the last one, which has recently come, to my attention, is called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers. It's a classic. It helps you to stop waiting to feel ready. I want to leave you with this. There is a version of your life that only exists on the other side of action. Not perfect, not super pristine, not fearless, just action. So today I want you to choose one thing. I want you to choose one move, one step, one moment of courage. And do it before you feel ready. Because you don't become fearless first. You become fearless because you moved anyway. I want you to repeat after me. I can feel fear and still take action. Fear does not feel the final say in my life. If this episode hit for you, if you feel called to this episode, if it's speaking to a place in your life, share it with someone. Share it with someone who you think needs the push today. Maybe you were having a conversation with someone recently today and you want to share it with them. And as always, remember that you're the boss of your life. You are the boss of your life. So start acting like it. Thank you for listening. Come back again next week for another episode of You the Boss podcast.
Being outside is good for us. It's that simple. And trails make it easy for us to walk, bike, and be active outside in our own backyards. On the trail, we see people moving, connecting with their communities, making the places where they live great. For 40 years, Rails to Trails Conservancy has led the way, creating trails across the country, making it safer and easier for everyone to get outside. They want you to get involved. Find your trail and start your journey today at railstotrails.org/iHeart and follow at Rails to Trails on social.